A quick reminder before the video starts, please click subscribe if you like this channel. It helps the algorithm. I become more popular. Everybody wins. I need to keep my hands on the wheel.
Humans seldom seem satisfied. We complain about the rain, even though it's needed. The latest Star Wars movie? There's bickering about that. I'm not even touching politics. Car enthusiasts, they want station wagons and hatchbacks, but complain that roads are overrun with crossovers like the all-new Audi Q3 here. Stop. Many of these machines are really just slightly taller wagons and hatches. They should make practical people happy. And the small Q3, now built on the Volkswagen Group's well-regarded MQB architecture, is quietly handsome with crisp, rugged lines that might go unnoticed until you really study the car.
As tested, this particular S-Line model retails for just under $44,000. That's a chunk of change, so you're going to want to cross-shop. That means looking at BMW X1 and X2, Cadillac XT4, Mercedes GLA, and Lincoln Corsair.
The outgoing Q3 was pretty small. This one is longer by nearly 4 inches, wider by 3/4 of an inch, and taller by 1.5 inches. That doesn't seem like a lot, but it makes a noticeable difference inside, where it now feels more roomy for front passengers.
This is not a big vehicle, so I'm assuming it's kind of cramped back there, huh? Never assume, always test. True. That's what Mom told us anyways. It's actually okay back here. I'm 5'9". Headroom is good. Knee, foot, and legroom actually bordering on generous. Plus, the cushions are high, so thigh support is great.
Door pockets are small, but they're here. I like this cubby, though. Not sure what I'd use it for. Storage on both back seats, that's always a win, and everyone can charge electronics. This being a premium brand, there should at least be the option for rump roasters in the back. The big glass roof, which is standard, makes it very pleasant riding here. Quattro all-wheel drive and its large tunnel here are also standard Q3 kit. 2 adults will be surprisingly comfortable in back, can't complain about that, but 3, as they say, is a crowd. And bring child car seats to check the smaller door openings on your test drive. There is just one powertrain to move the 3,900-pound Q3. This 4-cylinder is a turbocharged 2-liter that pumps out 228 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque with a quiet engine note. This car is optioned up with the Virtual Cockpit, a 12.3-inch screen that lets drivers customize the gauge cluster. As Evil Twin said, Quattro all-wheel drive is standard. The only transmission is an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic with manual shifting here. For those who must have paddle shifters, pony up for the $500 Sport Interior package. Drive modes? You bet. And to satisfy picky people, the steering, throttle, and transmission dynamic can be tailored.
Let's not forget, all-wheel drive is not just for snow. It's also good for rain and slightly damp pavement like this. Good grip off the line.
Throttle tip-in is touchy, making it harder to start off smoothly, yes, even in comfort mode.
Q3 is pretty quick off the line. I would say 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds.
And if you're curious, top track speed is 140 miles an hour. Just a little service I provide so you don't get into trouble. On the practical side, it will tow 1,500 pounds.
Q3's ride quality is the elusive, firm but comfortable. It's kind of on the sporty side, especially for a crossover. Hit a sharp bump and suspension soaks it up pretty nicely.
That said, I find the BMW X2 more fun to drive on a regular basis. Its chassis dynamics seem more settled and confident, but it doesn't feel as spacious as the Audi, especially in back.
One thing, steering weight is on the light side, even in sport mode. I prefer mine to be a little bit more on the heavy side.
Visibility is quite good. There's a decent amount of glass. It's fairly quiet in most situations, too. Under hard acceleration, the engine makes itself known with a nondescript engine note.
Just so you know what you're missing, Europe gets a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. We get an 8-speed regular automatic transmission, but that's okay, because it's always in the right gear. It never calls attention to itself.
As far as active electronic safety tech goes, automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection is standard. The $3,100 Premium Plus package on this car adds blind spot and lane departure warning, cross traffic alert, and automated parking. Fork out another $800 for adaptive cruise control.
Fuel economy is not all that hot for a smaller vehicle. We're talking 22 miles per gallon average on the EPA cycle. There is an automatic engine start-stop system that will save you a little bit of fuel, and it's pretty smooth. Can be turned off too.
At least regular grade gas is specified. For best-in-class fuel economy, Lexus has a hybrid system in the NX, the 300h. One would expect a great interior from Audi, and the Q3 has one, mostly. The overall ambiance is modern, and the visuals make it look roomier than it is. Some nice hardware, too. There is more hard plastic than expected at this price point, and the cabin would be more cohesive with door trim that matched this single lonely piece. Sadly, a heated steering wheel is not available. These seats don't have much bolstering, but that's rectified with the Sport package that adds those shift paddles. The 15-speaker Bang & Olufsen 3D audio system at $850 is a don't miss, unless all you listen to is NPR.
I don't know about you, but I tend to leave my phone in the car all the time. But here,
your mobile device is still in the vehicle.
Thanks, Audi lady.
As for the MMI user interface, there's no jog wheel or controller, it's a touchscreen system. The layout is straightforward with good response. This isn't just a wireless charging pad, it connects the phone to the car's large antenna for a better signal. Both USB-A and C ports are on board. You may not use them much since the standard Apple CarPlay is wireless, and yes, Android Auto is here too. A bird's eye view camera system is available, those are handy.
I have to believe the Q3 will appeal to a lot of singles and couples that won't use the back seat all that much, so I'm doing the TP test two different ways this time.
With all of the seats usable, the cargo space is a bit bigger than the old Q3. 6 packs of the 2-ply easily fit, no issue there. A welcome touch, the solid security cover stashes here. As for the seats, skiers that don't like gear on the roof will like this. Dropping the seats means opening the passenger door to pull this strap. It can't be done from the back if that's a deal breaker for you. The result is a pretty flat floor, and this small Audi is big on helping with the chores. I brought out a dozen packs of softness and absorbency, and because of the rain, I just threw them into the boot in a hurry. I figure 1 or 2 more would have fit, maybe 3 with a little bit of planning.
And the big question, does it kick to close? Yes, it does. Excellent.
So, will the Audi Q3 satisfy the masses? Well, as much as humans can agree on anything, I'd say yes, if they have the disposable income to plunk down on a premium brand. It has the form factor that's oh so popular these days. The cabin is roomy for a smaller crossover. It's fairly quick and composed in the corners. The compact size works well for driving in crowded urban situations, and if you're into taillights, these are always a crowd pleaser. Too bad the owner never sees them. Don't forget to test drive. The vehicles in this class are not inexpensive. Experience a bunch, and then buy the car you love. A vehicle is not about impressing all of humanity, it's about satisfying yourself. So one last thought on that making yourself happy thing. Premium brands are nice and all, but also consider a fully loaded mainstream brand vehicle. CR-V, Santa Fe, Sportage, and Tiguan are very nice, cost less, and oftentimes have more equipment for the money. For example, the Hyundai and Kia have vented front seats, and the VW, that's also built on the MQB platform, is $40,000 fully loaded with a small optional third row. No, they don't have the cachet of luxury brands, but who are you trying to impress? Your friends and family already know you're a goofball. Perhaps I'm projecting. As always, special thanks to Martin Campbell, who gets up early on the weekends to help me with the running footage. In return, I show him in this very flattering shot. Couldn't do these videos without him and Rob Calero. Thanks, guys.
Well, we've come to the end of another review, and I am not going to ask you to click subscribe and then notifications, even though that does help me. Instead, I'm going to ask you to ask a question. That's right. If you have a question about this car or any other vehicle, just go to that review and post a comment, okay? Now, when I travel to events, I've had other auto writers tell me that they're actually jealous of my channel because you guys are not only civil, but you ask smart questions. So I have no problems answering those. I get to as many as I can. All right? All right. That's Driven. I'm Tom Volk.